So I'm in the back of the pasture over at the bank barn, and over the last few rains we've had this spring, we lost a couple of water gaps. So I came down earlier in the week, got this little area cleared out here across the creek. This is where I want to put the new water gap at. So our water gaps has always been temporary. We have a couple nice established ones that are permanent here on the farm, but these out here in the middle of the pasture, we've always just run across just to bring our electric fence to, kind of section off the areas that we want the cattle to be able to access. Well, what really happens is after 2 or 3 big rains, when we're using cattle panels, old gates, or just strung up barbed wire across it, it ends up catching up so much debris in it that that's what ultimately weighs it and pulls it down. So what I want to do today is use some high tensile wire that I have, and we'll just put up what we can, kind of give it a shot and see how it works. Hopefully that way it won't catch up so much debris in it as the creek floods. So what I want to do is I got 4 old T-posts with me. I'm going to put 2 on that side of the creek, 2 on this side. There's a little bit of a dip in here. That way I can kind of get the wire to spread across there pretty good. I really don't know how much wire I have. I ended up buying a bunch of high tensile wire and a spinning Jenny fencing tool at a farm auction back in 2017. Really haven't had a use for it. It's a bunch of the odd size little ends of the big rolls that the guy had. So we're gonna give it a shot and use what we have on hand to see how this works. So I got the T-posts set here where I want them. I used all scrap T-posts that I had. The furthest one away from us, it was in another water gap. This one I used over at our house to hold the Rams pen together last year. And the 2 there at the creek crossing, those are 8-footers that I purchased off of a online auction about 2 weeks ago. They pulled those up out of the ground someplace and I just bought them as used. We got a good deal on them, so that's why we're using them in places like this, because we know that they're gonna get destroyed, so we might as well not put the new post in there. So this is spinning Jenny, that's what they call this. This is a way to unravel that high tensile wire. I think I paid about $10 for this and $5 for a bunch of electrical wire and a couple little pieces of high tensile like this. Haven't used it in 4.5 years, but I ended up loaning it to a buddy of mine. He ended up building this box for it. This way it will sit, he had it so it would sit in his gator above the railing, so I can close this tailgate and kind of use it as weight. I got the T-post driver in there, and then I can just pull it off of this. I don't have to stick that in the ground or anything. Hopefully it goes pretty good. So I ended up buying some of these high tensile tighteners that Gallagher makes. They're really nice. They take a 1/2 inch drive on this side to twist it to get it tight. Your wire slides through here, just kind of twist it, and then you use this pin to lock it in. They're reusable. I can come out and adjust them as need be. If this idea works miserably, I can take them off, use them someplace else. I think these are about $2.50 a piece. So I got one for each strand because I just figured it'd be a lot easier this way, using each wire to get them individually tightened. So I ended up getting the water gap done tonight. It's set up the way that I want it. We're gonna give this a try to see how it lasts. I have the step-in post on the other side of the creek, ran all the way down almost to the water gap. I'm gonna have to bring a couple more posts with me next time. And then we're gonna put up double wire on there and then add another stretch of wire to this side. This side we already got cleared out all the way up to where we meet the graveyard on that end. So this way it'll be fine. We'll be able to run a second wire on here just to be able to make sure that the calf isn't able to get underneath the wire. But it's Saturday night. Tomorrow's the 4th of July. So what I want to end up doing is just putting this on pause. We'll be back Monday morning to start on this, to finish it, and then also to let all the cows back here into this back part of the pasture. I don't like letting them out here late in the day. We're going to be busy all day tomorrow, so I think I'm just going to wait till Monday to finish this up. So we got the electric fence all up, double strand. We got the water gap finished, and I ended up putting the charger up. The T-post I brought isn't the right kind of T-post, so I'm going to have to replace it tonight. But we went ahead and let the cows back here. They seem to really be enjoying it. They're really grazing underneath these trees right now. It's a pretty warm day, but there's a good breeze, so it's a good thing to get them moved back. We're happy we got that done. But we're just going to kind of let them be. They seem to be okay back here so far, respecting the fence, and that's good. So we'll be back later on so I can swap out that T-post and check on them again. So I'm back over here tonight. I had to bring all the tools back over with me because I made a mistake earlier. I really wasn't paying attention when I grabbed this first T-post here for the electric fence charger. These little knobs here on the T-post for this lock system on the back of this fence charger to work, the first knob on this T-post has to be right up here at the top. And so I didn't pay attention when I grabbed it, so that lock system will not work with this T-post. So I came down and put a new one in and got it transferred over to it. And that was just something that slipped my mind. I wasn't even thinking about it when I grabbed that T-post. That was just one I had sitting out in the barn. So I thought I'd grab it and use it, but it turned out it wouldn't work for me.